Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at your plate and wondered, is this actually helping me or slowly hurting me? Because after 60, not every vegetable is your friend. I know that might sound surprising. For most of our lives, we've been told, eat your veggies, they're all good for you. But the truth is, some vegetables can quietly make things worse, especially if you're dealing with joint pain, digestion issues, or blood sugar spikes. That's why this conversation today is so important. Because there are some vegetables you should absolutely avoid if you're over 60, and others you should be eating more of. Not just to stay healthy, but to actually feel better, stronger, and more energized each day. And I know how frustrating it can be. You try to do the right things, eat more greens, have salads, cut back on sugar, but your body still feels stiff in the mornings. Your digestion slows down. Or maybe your energy dips in the afternoon and you just can't figure out why. Sometimes it's not about how much you eat. It's about what exactly is on your plate. Let's start with one vegetable that many people think is healthy, but can quietly wreak havoc on seniors: corn. Now, I get it. Corn is everywhere. It's in soups, side dishes, even in salads. It tastes good. But for seniors, corn can be a real problem. Why? Because it's high in starch and natural sugar, which causes your blood sugar to spike and then crash. And if you're struggling with weight gain, insulin resistance, or inflammation in your joints, corn is only making that harder. But here's the trick. Corn doesn't act like a vegetable in your body. It acts more like a carbohydrate bomb. And if you're already dealing with arthritis or fatigue, corn can quietly make those symptoms worse. That aching in your knees, that tired slump after lunch. Don't be surprised if corn is playing a role. Now compare that to something like spinach, which we'll talk about shortly. Spinach doesn't spike your blood sugar. It soothes your joints. It strengthens your bones. That's the difference between a vegetable that helps and one that harms. Let's look at another common culprit: white potatoes. Yep, the classic comfort food. Mashed, roasted, fried. Potatoes are a staple in so many kitchens, but they come with a hidden price. Just like corn, white potatoes are very high in starch, which means they quickly convert to sugar in your bloodstream. That leads to inflammation, fatigue, and for many seniors, weight gain around the belly and hips, which only adds more pressure on joints. You may be thinking, well, what's left to eat then? Don't worry, there's a better way forward. Let's talk about broccoli. Now this one is a powerhouse. Broccoli is anti-inflammatory, high in fiber, and full of a natural compound called sulforaphane. That fancy word just means it helps your body fight back against the kind of inflammation that causes stiffness in your hands, knees, and lower back. Broccoli also helps your body detox. And as we age, our bodies aren't quite as efficient at clearing out toxins. That's why supporting your liver and digestive system with healing veggies like broccoli is such a game changer. Add it to a stir fry, steam it with garlic, or just roast it in the oven. It's one of the easiest medicines your kitchen can offer. And then there's the one people always overlook: beets. Beets are rich in nitrates, which help open up your blood vessels and improve circulation. If your hands or feet often feel cold, or if your legs cramp easily when walking, beets can help get that blood flowing again. Better circulation means more oxygen to your muscles, more flexibility in your joints, and even a sharper mind. The best part? Beets can actually help lower blood pressure naturally, and they taste great roasted, grated into salads, or even blended into a smoothie. When you start replacing vegetables that inflame your body with ones that heal, something shifts. You wake up with a little more ease. You move with less pain. Your meals stop working against you and start working for you. Because once you know which vegetables are truly helping you and which ones are secretly holding you back, you can start building meals that support your body instead of fighting it. Now, let's talk about another common vegetable that can cause more harm than good: eggplant. I know it's a popular ingredient in many dishes, especially Mediterranean meals. It looks healthy, it's full of color, and it feels light. But here's what most people don't realize. Eggplant belongs to a group of vegetables called nightshades. And nightshades, which also include peppers, tomatoes, and white potatoes, contain a compound called solanine. For some people, especially seniors with joint pain, arthritis, or autoimmune issues, solanine can increase inflammation and worsen pain. It doesn't affect everyone the same way. But if you've been eating eggplant regularly and notice stiffness in your hands or swelling in your knees afterward, it might not be a coincidence. That doesn't mean everyone has to avoid eggplant forever, but if you're dealing with ongoing inflammation, it's worth doing a little test. Cut it out for 2 weeks and see how your joints feel. Sometimes the smallest change can reveal the biggest clue. Now, let's pivot to a vegetable that can do the exact opposite: sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are one of the most senior-friendly vegetables out there. They're naturally anti-inflammatory, loaded with vitamin A, and full of fiber. Unlike white potatoes, they help stabilize blood sugar, support your gut, and even improve skin and eye health. They also contain magnesium and potassium, which many seniors are low in, and which help relax muscles and reduce cramping. One sweet potato a few times a week, roasted with a little olive oil, can work wonders for your joints and digestion. Let's move on to another sneaky vegetable: canned peas. Now, fresh green peas are actually quite nutritious, but canned peas, often overcooked, soaked in preservatives, and packed with sodium, are another story. High sodium leads to water retention, bloating, and increased pressure in the joints. And when they're stripped of their color and texture, they're often stripped of nutrients too. If peas are part of your meals, try to go for fresh or frozen instead. Your joints and your heart will thank you. And now for another must-eat veggie that doesn't get nearly enough credit: kale. Kale is a leafy green that's rich in calcium, iron, and antioxidants. That's already a win. But for seniors, the real benefit comes from how it supports bone strength and helps reduce inflammation in the gut. Kale is also high in vitamin K, which supports circulation and bone health, two things that become more fragile with age. You can blend it into smoothies, saute it with garlic, or massage it with lemon juice and olive oil for a simple, easy-to-digest salad. It's a smart swap for iceberg lettuce, which has very little nutrition. The big idea here is this: not all vegetables are created equal, and not all of them are working in your favor, even if they look healthy on the surface. When you eat the right vegetables for your age, your whole body begins to shift. You move better. You breathe deeper. You even sleep better. Because your body isn't wasting energy fighting inflammation. It's finally getting what it needs to heal and thrive. Think of your grocery list like a medicine cabinet. What you put in that shopping cart either brings you closer to wellness or holds you back. And as we've seen, even vegetables can land on the wrong side of that line. And the best part is, once you start making these shifts, even just 1 or 2, you'll begin to notice something incredible: less stiffness, easier mornings, more energy after meals instead of that heavy, bloated feeling. Because your body has been waiting for the right support. It just needed the right fuel. Now, let's finish strong with one final vegetable you might want to be cautious with: cabbage. Surprising, right? Cabbage is low in calories and often thought of as healthy. And it can be, for many people. But here's the thing. As we age, our digestion changes, and cabbage, especially raw, can be very hard to break down. It produces gas, bloating, and discomfort for many seniors, especially if gut health is already a little sluggish. If you enjoy cabbage, try eating it steamed or sautéed in small amounts. But if you've noticed stomach discomfort, bloating, or gas after eating it, your body might be telling you it's too much right now. And instead of cabbage, there's a wonderfully gentle alternative: zucchini. Zucchini is soft, easy to digest, and packed with water, fiber, and vitamins that help regulate digestion and ease inflammation. It's incredibly versatile. You can roast it, sauté it, spiralize it into noodles, or even add it to soups and stews. It gives your meals substance without putting pressure on your stomach or joints. Zucchini also contains vitamin C and manganese, both of which help neutralize free radicals in the body and reduce joint pain. It's one of the few vegetables that works with your body's aging process rather than against it. So, let's take a step back. We've covered 5 vegetables that may be quietly working against your health, like corn, white potatoes, eggplant, canned peas, and cabbage. And we've highlighted 5 vegetables your body may thrive on after 60, like spinach, broccoli, beets, kale, sweet potatoes, and zucchini. This isn't about giving up everything you love. It's about eating with intention, understanding how certain vegetables affect your joints, your digestion, and your energy. It's about realizing that even the healthy stuff needs to be tailored to your body, your age, and your needs.